Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Canadian Franchise Association's Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion video series. I'm joined today by Mary MacDonald from the Canadian Franchise Association and Amy Silverstein from Pizza Pizza. Amy is a senior director of people at Pizza Pizza Limited, where she spent the last 4 years championing a culture of inclusion, engagement, and growth. As chair of the Canadian Franchise Association's EDI committee and an active member of the franchise community, Amy brings a strategic approach to building workplaces where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. Pizza Pizza has been named a diversity and inclusion champion by the CFA for the second time, a recognition that reflects the impact of the company's internal and external D&I initiatives. Guided by the belief that everybody deserves pizza, which I can super get behind, by the way, Amy is proud to help shape a people-first culture, celebrates individuality, and drives meaningful change. Amy, welcome so much to the show.
Thanks, Steve.
Glad to have you here. So let's jump right in. Pizza Pizza, a well-recognized company for all the great things that the organization does. I know one thing is that it has been recognized as one of Canada's most admired corporate cultures and one of the best places to work. So, what are the key values that drive a culture like that?
At Pizza Pizza, we really lead with a belief that culture is built by people. And what drives us is understanding that when you put people first and when you really listen to them, value them, and grow with them, the results are going to follow. So our core values are reflected in how we approach leadership and decision making and innovation. We also rally around what we call our recipe principles, and that's an acronym for the values of our company. Uh, you mentioned everybody deserves pizza, and that's probably one of the best examples, Steve, of our values in action. And that campaign really speaks to our public commitment to inclusion and our way of showing that no matter who you are, you have a place with us. So it is about food, yes, but it's also about belonging.
Food and belonging. I love it. That's perfect for me. Now, as I said off the top, the CFA named Pizza Pizza a diversity and inclusion champion for the second time. So, what kind of recognition, or what does that kind of recognition mean to you and to the organization?
To Pizza Pizza, it is really meaningful. With EDI, not everything is tangible. And so for us, it really validates that our efforts aren't just performative, that they are having a real impact. And this recognition also tells us that we're moving in the right direction and that there's always more work to do. So to be recognized twice is great, but there's always more that we can do in the future. And it really pushes us to keep going.
I love that. Well, and here we are in Pride Month, so let's talk about that in terms of continually moving forward. How does Pizza Pizza mark this occasion across its restaurants and across its corporate office?
We are very proud that we are one of Pride Toronto's longest standing partners. So we've had a relationship with Pride Toronto for around 30 years.
Wow, that's
A very long
amazing.
time. So I'm happy to share some pictures from our early days with Pride and the parades. We have a great history with them. And over the last years, we've actively been involved with the Pride organizations right across Canada. And so we get involved however Pride needs us to. So it's feeding volunteers, it's celebrating throughout Pride Month. We participate in the parade. We have several locations along the parade routes where we participate, and we're actively involved in feeding and engaging with the party goers and really making sure that we're helping immerse our brand in what we believe in supporting. We have brand led advertising that demonstrates our support and also reminds the community that we're a Canadian brand that is ready to show up in the spirit of inclusivity. Um,
Amazing.
yeah.
Well, in 30 years, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And so what kind of initiatives are either internal or community based are you rolling out this year? Anything new or anything you've done in past years that's worked really well?
Yeah, so we're going to continue to invest in ways that demonstrate our support and our allyship, most importantly, as a brand. So, whether it's on billboards or social media, leveraging local content creators, and just throughout our ecosystem, supporting the community along with our involvement with local pride organizers, really depending on what the needs are. So, it changes year to year. And again, however our best, whatever the best way to support them every year will change. And that's how we're going to continue to roll out initiatives and what we're going to do this year.
Well, I like that one. And staying current, right? Making sure that you're always in tune with the community, making sure that, you're investing in them and in the community in a way that, makes sense to them, of course, right?
Always. Yes.
That's great. And so obviously this is a huge initiative for Pizza Pizza, 30 plus years. So what kind of messages do you hope that Pizza Pizza's participation in Pride Month, like what do you hope that that gets across to your customers and to your team members?
Yeah, it's not an overcomplicated message that we hope people take away. Really, we want our team members and our customers that we serve to know that they're safe and celebrated here. And we want our customers to see that behind the counter is a team that reflects the community that we serve.
That's great. Yeah, but straight at it. Makes sense, right? Like making sure that you're a reflection of the people that you serve. I think that that just makes a ton of sense. And well said, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about, not just Pride Month. Obviously, June's a huge month in this regard, but how do you make sure that voices are heard and valued within Pizza Pizza year round?
So we have an annual engagement survey, and we have open door policies. We have the Pizza Pizza D&I committee, and we've also tried to find some really fun interactive ways to gather feedback through Kahoot games and business updates. And so we're very intentional about creating space for dialogue. And I think, Steve, it's really important to remember that listening is really only the first step, and we always make sure that we follow it with action and accountability. The idea that everyone deserves pizza has really become a cultural filter for us. And it has really challenged us to consider who is being heard, who's being left out, and what we can do about it.
I love that. I love it. I like tying it back to, everyone deserves pizza. I love that. Now you mentioned the word accountable. That's interesting. So is there anything that you're doing within Pizza Pizza to help hold yourselves accountable to make sure that Pizza Pizza remains the inclusive space for everybody?
So we've inserted DEI into our competencies and performance reviews. So the recipe principles that I had mentioned earlier are actually measurable objectives in our performance reviews and our annual goals. So DEI is never a side project. It's actually a part of our business strategies consistently. Our senior leaders actively sponsor initiatives, participate in training, and are expected to really model inclusive leadership. And I'm sorry for the pizza pun. It happens now after 4 years, but it's really baked into how we lead our organization.
Oh, I love it. Well, and the fact that it's just coming out in language, it's so organic to what you do. I can just feel that, it's clearly ingrained into your way of being and obviously the company's way of being, which that's just amazing. So clearly you and Pizza Pizza are huge leaders in this space, multiple recognitions. So if you were to think about other franchise organizations who are maybe earlier in their DEI journey, any advice you'd offer to those organizations?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. So first, reach out to your network. The CFA EDI committee has some really great resources available online, but the EDI committee is an entire network of peers in the franchise system who are also at various stages of their DEI journey. And so, leverage them as a sounding board or for ideas or to try to find the right contacts through. It can be very overwhelming to think about where to start. And I can say from experience, when we started the committee at Pizza Pizza, it really helps to have people to reach out to. So I would say take advantage of your network. And most importantly, I would also say, Steve, start with listening. DEI, it shouldn't be about grand gestures. It's really about everyday decisions, listening to your people and letting their voices shape your programs, and remembering that your culture is really what you allow it to be and what you promote and what you reward. And Mary, I think you can share some more thoughts around how the EDI committee through the CFA can really support this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The committee's worked really hard to put together a lot of great resources. There's checklists that you can download to use as you're setting up your own EDI program if you want to make sure that your workplace reflects your brand's values and your own core values. Um, we've got the materials to help you get started. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming, and you want to make sure that it's something that's tangible, that's aligned with you as an organization. I think the checklists really help to do that. It's just a free resource that people can access. But we have a lot of education that's available. We have webinars, articles, programming, and we want to make sure that this is diverse and inclusive and that it helps to make a more equitable franchising landscape. So at any point, you can reach out with thoughts, ideas, topics that you want to see covered, or if you want your voice to be heard, we want to hear it. So I think there's a very much an open door policy in terms of education at the CFA. And the EDI committee in particular really wants to help to support it and make sure that our programming is reflective of the communities that we serve. So yeah, reach out anytime. I think that we are more more than open to having folks share what they want to know about and maybe what they know with our community.
Well said. And through that committee, that's how you learn from people like Amy, who's obviously a huge part of that committee, and you learn from Pizza Pizza. And it's never too late to start. Is that a fair statement, Amy? It's never too late to get going.
Absolutely. It's never too late to start, and there is no step that is too small when you're starting.
Oh, well said. So what's next for Pizza Pizza? You've set the bar high in terms of diversity, equity, inclusion. Anything else? Anything that, any goals or upcoming programs or anything you want to share?
Yeah, so we're really focused on scale and sustainability. So for us, that means making sure that we're embedding inclusive practices into our franchise operations, from recruitment to training. We're also expanding our leadership development programs to include inclusive coaching and working with our benefits and employee resource vendors to launch some new resources that are going to help our team members participate in creating a diverse and equitable and inclusive culture. And I think most importantly, Steve, you said it earlier, this word relevant. DEI is a consistently changing landscape. And so we're always trying to find new ways to create impact beyond our walls. So, it's one thing for us to listen to our Pizza team members, but finding opportunities to support and reflect diverse communities is going to continue to be a major focus to make sure that how we're supporting communities, all diverse communities across Canada, stays relevant.
Oh, that's powerful. That's great. We've covered so much here today so quickly. I thought I'd give you both an opportunity to share any final messages. And Mary, not to put you on the spot, but I guess I'm about to. Any final thoughts, Mary? Like obviously, you're on the DEI committee. You're heavily plugged in. You see franchisors every day. Anything you'd want to share with the audience?
Oh, so many things to share. I think I love the idea of pride because I think it's a community we can be proud of. And I think so many members of our community are connected with people who this is deeply impactful for, right? So we really want to be able to make sure that we're celebrating everybody in franchising, that they feel heard, that they feel seen, that feel like valued, and celebrated. So yeah, I think this is a really positive month. It's a great opportunity for people to really demonstrate their core values, and we want to help them to do that in any way that we can.
I love that. All right, Amy, last thoughts from you before we wrap up.
Yeah, those were really great points, Mary. And allyship is really about commitment. And if you build a company or a culture where people are truly encouraged to be themselves, you're already on the path to something great.
Well, just great advice. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, Amy. I hope everybody watching and listening found it as inspiring as I did. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you all have a very good day.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Bye.